Hi everyone, welcome to another sewing video. I'm so excited about this one because, as you can tell by the title of my thumbnail, I'm making a beach bag in this video. And the sun decided to join us. What a perfect timing. Beach bag, sun. Anyway, I've been wanting a new beach bag for a while now because one I have is nice, but the issue is the handles. They are made out of rope, and if the bag is heavy and I'm carrying it on my shoulder, it will start to hurt pretty quickly. So I was looking for a new beach bag that didn't have the rope handles, but that was big enough for whatever I need. I wanted a bag with a zipper. I couldn't find it, which was sad, and that's when I thought, I can sew. Why not make my own beach bag? So I looked around for patterns and there was not one pattern that was exactly what I needed, but I did find a free tutorial. I will link the website below where I found it, and it's for a bag that's similar to what I need. So I'll just use that as the base and then I'll add my own little things that I need in my bag. And that way I'll have my perfect beach bag. And I'm so excited to start. Let's talk about the fabric first. I have this fabric. It's on a roll, which is fun. And as you can tell, it's kind of a beige background, and then it has some berries on it. I thought this was really cute. And it's a coated cotton, so it should be fine for outdoor stuff. And then for the lining, I found this kind of sage green, light sage green fabric. This is a pretty thick cotton, pretty sturdy, so I think this would work really well. And I think it goes pretty nicely with the main fabric. Then I have some other stuff that we'll get to later, like zippers. I have the handles, but that's not important right now. I want to talk a little bit about the design of the bag first, because what I need is just pockets. So I will be adding two outer pockets that I will be placing kind of over the base of the handles, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to add on the inside a phone pocket. I'm going to add a small pocket with a zipper for stuff such as lip balm, earbuds, those kind of things. And then what I want is two extra pockets that are going to be in the corners on the outer edges towards the side. I struggle to explain this, but it will start to make sense when I make it. And that is for two other bigger items that I want to keep upright. And those are my water bottle and my sunscreen. So they're going to be in each corner. And I'm going to add a pocket that's going to go up about here, I think, and all the way around so that they will stay upright. Because even though this is all leak proof, sometimes I find that maybe I accidentally didn't close something perfectly and then it falls down in the bag and leaks. This way they'll stay upright and that issue is solved. And let me think. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all the extra pockets that I'm adding. I think that's all for introduction. I think we just need to start. I have the measurements for the main pieces, and then for the pockets I already kind of prepared some pattern pieces. And I've also cut out all the interfacing already, because there will be a normal interfacing on the outer fabric, and on the inner, the lining fabric, I want to add some fleece interfacing for a bit of cushioning and to protect everything in the bag. So when you set it down, it doesn't break, hopefully. So that's prepared. Now I'm going to cut out the fabric. I'm just going to use these measurements and my pocket pieces, and then we'll have everything cut out and ready to go. So everything is now cut out and almost all the interfacing has been attached. There's one exception, that is the fluffy interfacing for the lining. I want to do that at the end, or not at the end, but at least after I've sewn all the pockets onto the lining. Now I'm ready to start actually sewing, very exciting. And I want to start with a couple of things all in one. Those are the outer pockets, the water bottle pocket and the sunscreen pocket, because they're all constructed in the same way kind of. Because what I will be doing is just getting a piece of the lining and the outer fabric. I'm going to sew the top edge together like this. Then we're going to fold it right side out, and I'm going to match up the bottom of the lining and the outer fabric. That way, when I'm going to match it up, the edge with the main fabric is going to fall to the inside. I'm going to have a really nice edge of main fabric, and then I'm going to stitch along the top. So I'm going to get my sewing machine and we're going to sew those 4 pockets. So these pockets are done. I've put the other pockets, so the sunscreen pocket and the water bottle pockets, to the side for now. I don't need it yet. I'm now going to work on kind of the main part of the outside, which is to add these straps and then also add the pockets to the front and the back, I guess, just the outside. So I've done some prep work by cutting these to the right size. At least I think they'll be the right size. I'm going to try it later to check if it's what I need. I've also prepared my fabric pieces. Now I've marked the center, then I marked 3.5 inches outward to both sides, because that's where the inside of the strap is going to be. I'm now going to just pin this into place. She says without a pin cushion. Hang on a second. Now I can pin. And like I said, I'm pinning it just into place so that the inside meets the marked point. And then I also marked it at the top so that I know that I'm going in a straight line. I do need to stop sewing 4 centimeters from the top edge, so let me just quickly measure that out. Right there, okay. Then I'm going to put a pin horizontally so that I know that I need to stop there. Lovely. Okay, I now need to sew it. I don't think my sewing machine is going to like it, but I'll do my best. Hope I'm not going to break any needles today. And I'm only going to sew the inside edge, because later I'm going to get my pockets. I'm going to put it here and I'm going to fold the outside edge under, and then we are going to sew that. So I'm only going to sew the inside. Let's do it. Fingers crossed I don't lose any needles. So the outer parts are now done, mostly. It went better than I thought it would. I didn't break any needles, which is surprising, especially here where there's a really thick layer. I really thought it would break, but turned out fine. So now I'm going to put this to the side. I don't need this right now. And I need to continue working on the lining. So I have my lining pieces and I did some prep work already. This one will have the phone pocket, so I just marked where I need it to be. And then this one will have the pocket for the zipper. So I just put a piece of interfacing on here to stabilize it, and then I just marked some things I had to mark. For the next step, I need to actually make the pockets. And I'm going to start with the phone pocket. And I've also prepped these. And I just folded them right sides together and pinned along the edges. And I just made some markings to remember to keep an opening so that I can turn it right side out. But first I just need to sew along the edges now. Then I'm going to turn it right side out, like I said. And I'm going to give them a good press. And then they are ready to be sewn on. And then we can move on to the other pocket, which is going to be a little bit more work. But first, these two. And that's the phone pocket done. I tried it really quickly. I put my phone in it. I can't show you because I'm filming on my phone, but I'll show you later the close-ups. And it fits and it looks really cute. That means that this lining piece is now technically done. And I can put it to the side. Now we have the other one where we're going to have the pocket with the zipper. So like I said, I already did this thing. Now I need to get my instructions because I really need to make sure I do this right. I need to mark on the pocket piece 3.5 inches down from the top. First find the center. Really? That far? Oh no. Mark center, and on lining piece mark 3.5 inches down. That makes way more sense. I need to match the center of the pocket piece to the center of the fabric, and then the top to the line marking I just made, like this. Yeah, now I just need to sew around this box, and hopefully I did it right. Only one way to find out. I'll sew and I'll be right back. Okay, I sewed along the outer box. Now I'm just going to remove these pins. And now it's time to pull the pocket through. I'm quickly going to press this, and then we are going to put in a zipper. The scary part. I have my zipper, this one. I feel like I've made the opening a little bit too big, but better than too small. Then I need to place this over there. Oh yeah, that's going to be... Hopefully it's going to fit. Then I'm going to just pin it into place, like this. And now I'm just going to sew along the edge using my zipper foot. And I have to make sure that I don't accidentally go over the metal ends. That could be really bad. So the zipper is in. It's not perfect, but it's pretty okay for a first try. I've never done a zipper like this before, but you know, it's functional. That's great. What I now need to do is finish this pocket by simply folding it in half like this. And then I need to just sew along the edge. I'm just going to make sure that this top piece here is lined up nicely. And I will be using a overlock stitch for this, just for some extra security and also to maybe prevent the fleece interfacing to kind of disintegrate. And then what I need to do is attach the fleece interfacing that I have somewhere to the back pieces of the lining. And then we can move on to the next step, which is exciting because that's putting in the big outer zipper. But first this pocket. Now it's time to put in the zipper. And I just have the zipper pieces here. And I want to sew the zipper to these first before I sew these to the main pieces. Place the zipper facing up on the top edge of the lining. Place the outer piece, this one of these, on top with the right side down. And make sure it all lines up. Okay. So, okay, let's do that real quick. So the zipper is in. I've also really quickly sewn the zipper pieces to the main pieces, so the outside and then also the lining. What I've also done is got the water bottle and sunscreen pockets, and I added a little bound edge to the bottom so that that's all nice and finished, because I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm going to sew the bottom edge down or keep it as it is. That's a future me problem. Now it's time for the most exciting step, and also kind of almost the final step, and that's sewing up all the side seams and the bottom seam. I'm a little bit nervous about this because there are a lot of layers of fabric, and I haven't lost a needle so far, but I have a feeling this might make me lose a needle. I'm just gonna do our best and take it slow and steady. I now need to just make sure that I have the outer pieces together and then the lining pieces, and I need to do the sides first. And I believe I have to start with the side of the zipper tab, which is this side. Okay, now do the same for the other side. But here I need to remember to keep an opening just below the zipper on the lining side so that I can pull everything through. And I'm going to make it a pretty big opening because I'm afraid it won't fit. So I'm just going to make it kind of halfway down. I forgot something. I was supposed to add the pockets. Let's do that now. I don't really care which side which one will be. But what I need to do is just fold the pockets in half. Open this back up. Put this in between. Same for the other side. I think that also determines where the gap is going to be. I'll make the gap be right above the pockets. And then pin this. I was about to pin the bottom, but I realized I have to actually open the zipper before I can do that, because otherwise we have a big issue. And I'm going to pin the bottom. Okay, so we have all of this. I'm going to sew this. Then I need to sew the gussets right here. And then I need to turn it right side out and sew the gap. And then we are done. So I'm going to do all that, and then we can look at the final finished beach bag, which I'm so excited about. I have a really good feeling about this. So here's my beach bag all done. I'm so happy with how this turned out. It turned out so much better than I thought it would, honestly. And it's the perfect size for what I need. Everything fits in here, my water bottle, my sunscreen, my e-reader, my camera. Everything fits and it is adorable. The fabric is so cute. Yeah, this has been a very, very big success and I just cannot wait to go on holiday and use this bag every single day. Which will be by the time you're watching this, by the way. Or at least when this video is released, I will be on holiday with my bag, getting lots of use out of it. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be to make a bag, and it was pretty simple, so I highly recommend checking out the instructions for how to make the base of the bag, if you will, in the link in the description below. I will also link the tutorial I used for the zipper pocket on the inside, also very useful. And with that, I'm going to end this here. Like I said, I'm incredibly happy with this bag, and this is one of the main reasons why I love sewing. It's you can make whatever you want. I wanted a really specific bag that I couldn't find, so I just made one, and it's amazing. I love this so much. I'm going to leave you now with some more close-ups. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.